frosted glass.
Woo! Welcome to another Death Curse Society, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we're back. I'm your host, Red Crank. I got the Colonel, and I got Zigzag.
What the hell is going on out there?
I think we took a wrong turn in Albuquerque.
I just bet we should have turned left at Albuquerque.
Oh, God. The dad joke's are already starting, so it's going to get scary out here. Don't forget to hit subscribe on our YouTube channel. Make sure to follow us on social media and all that good stuff, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Check out our new website, deathcursesociety.com. And without any further ado, let's go camping.
You're going to Camp Blood, ain't you? You'll never come back again. It's got a death curse.
For Let's Go Camping today, we checked out the movie Wrong Turn for you to make sure you didn't make a wrong turn to go and see this movie. Or maybe you should have. Wrong Turn, despite warnings to stick to the Appalachian Trail, hikers stray off course and cross into land inhabited by a hidden community of mountain dwellers who use deadly means to protect their way of life. Suddenly under siege, the friends seem headed to the point of no return unless one man can reach them in time. Ooh. Colonel, you want to start us out on this? What do you think of Wrong Turn?
This isn't your father's wrong turn, okay? If you thought go going into that, you're going to take a wrong turn on the plot. Overall, I didn't really think it was too bad. I kind of like how it started in the present. And then we flash back 6 weeks. And that's where we get the story. Saying this group of people were under siege is a bit of an oversell because as you watch the movie, not really. Again, the cast of characters, I'm sure I'm not the only one that thought this. I had a hard time identifying with any of them. Adam, one of their buddies, like, fuck that guy. They go in this whole small town. They're holier than thou. Look at the fucking rednecks. They ain't gonna tell us what to do. Thinking they're better than everybody. But then you got the rednecks being your stereotypical rednecks in these movies. And it kind of has a purpose by the end of it. You kind of understand why they're kind of like this. But man, I'll be honest, by the end of this, I really missed the original. Well, I didn't think it was a terrible film. I don't want to say too much because I know we're really going to dive into this. So initial thoughts is, hey, not the original Wrong Turn. Get that shit out of your fucking head.
Right. Yeah, I think Alan B. McElroy, the writer, he tried to do everything he could to separate this film from the previous franchise. But my guess is that the studio refused to make it happen unless it had the Wrong Turn name attached to it. As many have said, this film relates in name only to the previous franchise. So it doesn't share that universe, I don't think, at all. Ziggy, what were your initial thoughts?
Yeah, man, Wrong Turn. What we have here is another studio-owned name, and they just decided, well, we're going to release another one. So here, you write this. We're going to call it Wrong Turn, but only because we own the name. Similar to that other movie that is never mentioned around here, in name only. It's not bad as it gets started. Like you said, you start in the present, and then they tell the 6 weeks ago story, what led up to the present. That's slick. It's cool. They handle it well. As it starts to play out, though, we'll get into it a little more, but the plot takes a turn. At least I found myself wishing there was some cannibalistic inbreds out in the woods. I'll leave it at that, and as we break further into it, it'll be more clear. But
I am completely different, I think, from both of you guys. Now, I did mention this does not share the same universe as Wrong Turn, but there are a few minor shared traits. A group of friends that are hiking in the deep woods and a group of inhabitants that are terrorizing the friends to a degree. Are they really terrorizing, though? That's the question I have for you guys later. Other than that, I don't see this as part of the franchise at all. And that's how I tried to think about it when I went into watching this movie for the first time. And I think that's why I enjoyed this movie. Now, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the Wrong Turn franchise because I've only seen maybe the first couple. And one other thing I will say, as a child of the 80s, goddamn, it's good to see Matthew Modine back in a movie. Thank you, sir. Welcome back. Let's go into this. Did you like the differences this movie had from the rest of the franchise? Ziggy?
You can't really hold a comparison with it on this really two different, completely different paths. Again, by name only, this movie. The difference is they're okay to a point when you start to figure out how things are working and why they're working the way they're working. that's where they lost me, honestly. I mean, it gets to about the third act, and you're kind of like, really? There's something about like the inbred cannibal angle that is actually a little scary. You know what I mean? Because like you pretty much know what your fate is. These are just regular people, I guess. I appreciate that they did take a different angle. Okay, yeah, they took that wrong turn plot and they rewrote the whole thing a different way. This seems more realistic, I guess, to a point. I just don't like the way, let's just call the community in the woods handled it. I would have rather seen some motherfuckers getting eaten and stuff like that and tortured just because these half-witted, generations of inbreeding have made them absolutely devoid of human feelings, emotion, compassion, all that. That's what you got in Wrong Turn original set. This is, the real thinking people and kind of a fucked up way of thinking, but still you can talk to them and they'll listen.
They have their ways.
They have their ways.
And we can call them the Foundation, by the way.
The Foundation. I was going to get to that too, but I mean, and why they're called the Foundation. That kind of saved it a little bit, that little bit of information. Mm-hmm. I appreciated that, but it's not enough to save the whole ship for me.
The differences really didn't throw me off because we've all seen the trailer. I hope everybody watching has seen the trailer. Everybody listening has seen the trailer. Trailer tells you this is not the same Wrong Turn movie. It's totally different. I mean, I did like the little throwback to the cliff where they're all standing there overlooking the mountains. I was like, oh, they did that in the first Wrong Turn. That's literally about the only thing they'll say. Oh, they did that in Wrong Turn. That's the only one you're going to fucking get. So I appreciated the fuck out of that. I was like, oh, cool. It didn't really take me out because I was expecting pretty much what I got. I wasn't thrown off too much. And Zach says, these people are a little crazy. Honestly, their thinking really isn't too bad,
right? In
my opinion.
Right.
It's definitely a very socially conscious movie. We'll say that. There's definitely a political subtext to this entire movie.
See, that's the thing. That's the point, though, right there that we're going to get into here in a minute.
Right.
Yeah.
Before we get too serious, let's talk about the acting and the actors in this real quick. How'd you guys feel with Charlotte Vega, Matthew Modine? Were you excited to see him again? And Bill Sage as King Villain.
Joker's less funny than he was when he was in Vietnam. And why the fuck does he sound like a Jarl from Skyrim? I'm telling you, every time the dude Bill Sage talked, I felt like I was playing Skyrim. Like he was chilling in a chair. Dragons are attacking. Yes, go do that. I wouldn't say she was terrible, but I wouldn't say she was impressive to me. She was just average actor. I mean, like I said, no one in this film I really felt for it. That's the shitty part.
I thought Charlotte Vega did a pretty decent job, honestly, because she had to go through a lot in that movie, obviously. And I thought she handled the swings from, carefree hiker to woman in distress very well. I thought she did.
Acting is adequate. It's fine, but there's nothing that stands out that it's like, wow, what a performance. They do the job and it's fine. It's not bad because that'll take you out of any movie, a bad acting. To me, the material wasn't anything I'm going to dwell on. You got to consider what the material is. And that's where I think I get lost. So
I think we can go ahead and say the Foundation was created in 1859 as part of a group of families that got together. They saw the decline of the United States about to happen in front of them. They decided to form a community of their own, which they called the Foundation. They've been out there in the woods of Virginia ever since. They have their own laws. They have their own duties. Everybody has different assignments throughout their community. The thing I kind of liked about this movie is you could see it from both sides, and it'd be hard to tell who was in the wrong because the kids basically did this to themselves. That's the way I took it. It's almost like a morality tale. And it's right in the middle of that is when Jennifer is talking about the morality of, well, you just killed a man for no reason. No, he had me tied up. I didn't know what he was going to do with me. We thought he had killed Mila. Well, they hadn't. All this is going on, and this was their form of justice. Did you guys like the morality tale of it, Ziggy?
I'm okay with how it went, but I mean, at the same time, even though that dude's an asshole, They said they were helping him, but wait a minute, dude, he got dragged underground by a fucking chain.
But that could have been for an animal. That could have been a trap for food. for an animal, not necessarily a person.
Looked like he was ready for the fucking, you know what I mean, the fire thing with the slow cook with the you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean we've seen it in every Bugs Bunny cartoon. That looks like they were heading, and then our heroes show up and save him, and then he reacts by grabbing a stick, and the two beings are standing there. By the way, these people in the woods are dressed, they got like skulls and big fur fucking costumes on, so you don't know what the fuck. They could be cannibals. I mean, I guess that's the point of it. But I mean, the asshole snaps and grabs a stick. He doesn't know what they were going to do to him, so they beat the shit. They smash the head of the one. The other one escapes, and then later on we find out that the Foundation is a little more civilized than some inbred cannibals. They got a whole structure and a whole pyramid, as it seems, and a judge making the decisions, the leader, the chief, whatever you want to call him. This is where the difference is really blinding. From that point, once the reveal is there, it's a big drop off, man, in the story and the payoff.
Was the morality tale enough for you to get you interested in that second act, or the whole, to simplify it, don't judge a book by its cover kind of storyline?
Yeah, I really appreciate it and really liked it and dug it. We'll go back to kind of like the beginning of the movie here, where the Adam guy's being a dick. He's the out of towner. He's going in no respect for these people. And I was raised, and I'm raising my children. You always show respect, especially if you're from out of town. You're be respectful of shit.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm probably reaching world reach here, but I know the majority of the world complains about us Americans as being arrogant and everything else. So that really kind of hit the nail on the head for me when we got there, because you got your disrespectful younger group of people made the right assumption, because any person in their right mind in our society would be like, what the, fucking, they took him. Like, of course they're going to protect themselves. I mean, these people aren't speaking fucking English. They're speaking their own language, which that's the only thing I thought was strange, because obviously they can speak both. Why the fuck didn't they say, hey, hold on? They're like, but speaking in fucking tongues of these people, like they're going to know what the fuck they're saying. It's always about perspective. Everything's about perspective. What's evil to some is good to others, and vice versa. That's what I took from it, and that's what I love about it, because this is one of the few movies that actually took it from that point of view. Like, okay, well, everything makes sense to both groups of people and why the other ones are in the wrong. I thought it was a great way to keep that second act going. Then, but one more thing, the political thing, people, just so you know if you're watching, one, I did kind of think those people fit in The Walking Dead, and I'm like, oh, okay, there's Alexandria pretty much. And for two, I really like how one of the characters, I don't want to go too much, pretty much walked into his fucking utopia. The Foundations is everything he fucking wanted.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really cool little twist too.
I saw that first moment where you see the two members of the Foundation carrying the guy. And yes, he's tied up to a big stick. He's got a bag over his head. Yes, it does look like he's due for some barbecue. Definitely. But what if they were just taking him back close to town and going to let him go? They had the bag on his head because they've separated themselves from the world so much that they don't want this guy to wake up and look around and know where they are. They were taking him to safety, dropping him off, and going back home to go back hunting. The reason they had him tied up like that is because they were hunting. If you find a bear, you're going to truss him up like that on that stick and carry him back to your camp.
At that time, when that scene's happening, though, we don't have any contact with them with that mask like that. But as later on, as the rest are captured, every time they move them around, they throw a bag on their head, and that supports what you just said a lot more. So I was like, okay, I can probably get on with that maybe they were going to take him to the outskirts, but who knows? Maybe they were taking him to the darkness.
I don't think they were, though, because he hadn't done anything to them yet. The moment that he attacked one of them, that's when their fates were sealed. And they even said in the court, don't lie. Adam's the one that murders the guy. Now, granted, he thinks in his mind that this is justifiable because he's trying to protect himself and he's defending Mila, who he thinks is dead, probably. But she's not, and we don't know what their intentions are. So he kills this guy. When they're in court in front of the Foundation, Adam is sentenced to death. And then the others are warned, during this trial, don't lie. And you're the only one, Jennifer, that can speak. So don't lie, or it will be a punishment on the rest of you too. Sadly, she does. If she had said, yeah, he killed him, sorry. Yeah, he probably would have still died, but they might have gotten bagged and taken back to town.
Mm.
That's the way I saw it.
I don't know, because even the townsfolk were kind of like they're well aware of the foundation and keeping people out of there.
Right. Absolutely, they are. And
they're
they stay the fuck away.
They're kind of guardians of that, you know. I mean, not wanting to be affiliated with them, just like, hey, they're fuck up there. Just let them be. Stay the hell out of there. Stay on the path. That's what they're warned all the time and everything. And then later on, some of the folks that were, you know, getting taunted by our kids, our group here, actually show up to rescue and everything. So I mean, they did think this out and everything. I don't know. I just think I just would have been happier with cannibals and inbreds.
You like the inbreds?
Just, you know, there's something about you can't reason with a fucking, you know, animal like that, you know.
Now, personally, I thought this one had decent effects on it. Starting to wonder now with you guys. I don't know what you're going to think. Colonel, what was your favorite gory effect in this?
Let me start off to clear it up. In this movie, you rarely see the effects leading to it. It's pretty much all after effects.
Right.
Until then you get CGI blood splashing on the fucking screen and shit. Get that out of the way. Boom. For me, it really was, and it probably wasn't even the best. It was just the one that hit me more. Was that dude getting between that log and the tree, and he's just all fucking smashed.
Yeah, that was
teeth hanging out and shit. I was like, oh, like that's the first one. I made an audible noise watching that. Like, oh shit, that's awesome. I mean, I thought the gore was fucking fantastic. I would like to have seen it during the process, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. They did a fine job where you can see the after effects of what the fuck happened to these people.
Very rarely do you actually see a strike or a connection between the two people. It's always, as Colonel said, you see what happened after, you know. And it's funny, they're all running. That's kind of the first time they kind of scatter about. A big fucking giant tree comes rolling down a hill. There's trees everywhere, you know what I mean? And yet they're scattering every which way, but every time they turn around, the tree is right behind all of them.
I like how log is rolling this way, so they all decide to run this way instead of, if it's rolling towards me, going that way.
I think I said too, and I was like, fucking idiot, deserved it. Because literally, you're running away in the same direction this fucking log's going, down a fucking mountain, so that thing's just getting momentum going faster than you fucking can. Well, I'm like, well, if they just went this way, they've been fine. Just
exactly.
Fucking clearing on the hill, that's all of the tree that's 50 feet tall and 10 feet fat. It's coming running down, doesn't hit anything except the people, and then hits a tree to stop.
Dude, but it was funny watching them run into these trees and fucking flying around and shit. Like,
oh yeah, they all get that's where they
take laughing my ass off, man.
They take their wounds rolling down the hill in the forest, running away from a giant tree. The only good thing about that scene is the fact when you get up and see the guy that actually gets hit, and he's smashed really good.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a brutal makeup right there.
And then you get the only other one I can really remember that stands out. Adam, the asshole that caused all this, really, he gets Negan'd straight up. You know, Negan'd. Yeah.
Is that a verb now?
Sure. Because this is what happens to him. He gets his fucking head whacked with the same stick he used to kill the guy that was rescuing him.
Right.
If that's the way we're going.
Again, I'm not saying that's the case, but that's the theory, and I think that's their
claim. That is their claim. That's they were claiming, hey, we were just going to take him out this way and set him free.
The effect I enjoyed, probably the most, I would say, was the guy that they found when they were trying to escape and that was stuck in the darkness and had his eyes burned out. And I thought that was well done. Simple, but that scene was a good one, I thought, when they run across him.
There's a lot of people in there. I mean, it was almost people under the stairs-esque. There's just this whole cave or whatever they got him in. Everyone's got their eyes poked out.
That's the punishment. That's
right. The darkness. You're in the darkness.
Right.
But, you know, they're devolving in the darkness as well, because when someone goes down, you know, a couple of them start munching on them and shit. So it's, you know, okay. That would have been a little bit cooler too, to add some more horror to this, but all right, you know, we got a taste.
That group could escape at some point and just tear loose. That'd be kind of an interesting thought.
Wrong turn to the darkness. Colonel just wants he wants to bust out with that darkness song. I believe in a thing called love.
Just listen to Do we want to talk about the ending? I think Ziggy does. So be careful, folks. We might get a little spoilery here.
Basically, our protagonist, hero, and heroine agrees to join, giving herself to the tribe for whatever that means. And you know what it means. Modine comes in, all guns blazing, and he looks like he's going down too. And then guess what? Our locals from the bar that got taunted ruthlessly at the beginning of the film are the ones here to rescue our clueless city slickers. So it appears we've escaped, and you feel the movie's over, and then we flash forward a couple months later. Oh, she's now assisting her dad. She's involved with the business and doing a great job. Everything's great. Everything's great. And then daughter goes home. Stepmom and her stepbrothers are, oh no, we have a guest. And it's the supreme chief from the tribe again. He's charmed his way into the house. He's saying all kinds of cryptic things right to the girl, you know, and right in front of the boys and the stepmom. And they're just like, oh, stay for dinner. And just clueless, completely clueless. Right. She's, you know, freaking out seeing him again. And then she basically says, okay. She's like, she gets her mom and the boys to leave the kitchen and just says, all right, let's go. So they all jump into the camper and they're all driving away. And you think, well, that's how it's going to end. She's back with the tribe and she's going back to the foundation. And that's it. You can't escape the foundation. Yes. The RV starts swerving all over the road and crashes. Two of the soldiers come falling out of the RV, and she's right on top of them. She stabs the shit out of the one. The other one's stumbling away, wounded. She runs him down, stabs him about 15 times. And this is while the credits are rolling. The little girl walks out. They grab hands, and they do a nice 5-minute walk slowly towards the camera during the credits.
It's not a 5-minute walk.
For a movie like Wrong Turn, when you had this foundation of the cannibals, the inbreds, that whole thing, man, I think you lost something when you went this way with this foundry, and now you got him chasing around the girl, and she's knocked up, you know, with his kid, and it's just, I don't know, man. I just thought it was just too easy. I thought it was just not satisfying for me.
I like that ending, actually, for some reason, because for me, just inbred cannibals, they're so simple that there's not much to them. There's not a motive or a purpose much of besides just surviving.
That's what's scary.
Well, but these people have more of a purpose. I mean, it's mostly surviving, but they have a more grounded reality around them, to me. So that's what makes it a better story, in my opinion, anyway. And the fact that there could be members of the foundation that want revenge in a Wrong Turn 2.
Wrong Turn 2, The Darkness.
Or they come back for the unborn child. Well, and I also like that this foundation was created before the Civil War. And even though it was right around that time, Adam and a couple of the others, groups of friends, kind of just, oh, fucking Confederacy, that's all this is. You know, they kind of laughed it off, but they were wrong. It wasn't the Confederacy. I think this foundation thought maybe the Confederacy was going to win the Civil War. So they were like, oh, fuck this shit, I'm out. And that's why they started.
See, I'm kind of with Zag on this one. I really didn't care for the ending. The third act, the escape, the final chase was great. I mean, it actually kept me entertained. I counted the number of shots. I knew when all 6 shots were done, and they went to go shoot one more. I'm like, oh, it's empty, motherfucker. It didn't count. They get down the mountain. There's a few more local people. You know, they're driving away, and, you know, offers the dad some shine. And he's like, no. He was like, suit yourself. I was like, well, after a night like that, motherfucker, I drink some of that shine. Fade to black, credits. That would have been perfect. Nope. Like Zach said, you fast forward, we'll say 2 months. She's at the job site. She goes back. There he is, sitting there looking like fucking Al Borland from Home Improvement. The groupie at the table.
She was coming on to him, and he was coming unglued faster than the last thing he glued.
She's not coming on to him.
Oh, you just wouldn't understand. You're not a sexual creature like me.
Like that beard and shit, the flannel.
No, I agree. It just that got me.
Looks like that My Pillow guy.
Oh, no, God.
So she leaves. Fade to black. Would have been a perfect ending. But no, because, hey, it's ending on a downer. Dude, I dig this. Okay, I'll take a fucking downer ending. No, they start driving. I'll be honest, when the RV first started fucking going, I was thinking maybe dude just didn't know how to drive. Like, I thought it was going to be like a joke. Like, they were going to make that right at that stop sign, just keep fucking going. No, but they wreck, and she comes out and stabs the shit out of people and grabs Ruthie's hand, just walks away from the camera. This ending's just stupid. It was just stupid for me. Because she stabbed the shit out of these guys in the middle of broad daylight in fucking suburbia. Someone's going to see that shit. You're telling me no one heard that fucking RV wreck. So it doesn't really fucking matter. She's going to jail. Her life's fucking done. Whether she went with them, she should have just stayed with them. This was a very political movie, not based on party, but based on ideals that we have going on right now in this country. I will not go into detail because they didn't go into detail, but it's there for you to find.
Damn it, guys. I don't know. I enjoyed the ending. I thought the ending was like that little bow tie just right on top. Just bing. It makes the gift perfect. The reason I like the ending is because I think she's a strong character. And I think she portrayed a strong character throughout. She was smart enough to make choices to try to protect her friends. That didn't work for them. She was smart enough to make choices to protect herself, and that worked out. As soon as I saw the RV going down the street, I knew what was going to happen.
True, but for comedic effect, it really should have been just dude didn't know how to drive, and they took that right at the stop sign and kept fucking going. That's just how my mind works. That's how she thinks. Killing. I think of the stupid shit that could happen to make me laugh. I was like, oh, wait a minute, this is serious.
They show the RV going, and it takes the left, and then it comes back and it goes the other way because it took a wrong turn. All right, it looks like we differ on these rankings, gang. So Ziggy, you want to start with a number?
It's a decent story. It's not the worst fucking movie you ever saw, but I mean, man, there's just other movies where there's been communities out in the woods, in the middle of nowhere, in the rural areas of wherever that are done better than this, in my opinion. And having said that, a couple of good gore spots in it. There's no scares. The music doesn't do anything to accentuate or get you tense. Wrong Turn, the remake, the reboot is going to get a 5.5.
You mentioned you've seen this done before, much better. Was Antebellum one of those situations?
100%.
Okay. Just
shit. This motherfucker lives in Michigan. He sees it on the daily with all these fucking militias that got up in the northern part of the fucking peninsula. Well,
you're pretty close to Virginia where this takes place, so
not that close. It really wasn't a bad movie. By all means, watch it, but I want to give it like a 6.
Like I said, man, I kind of enjoyed the hell out of this. I appreciated seeing Matthew Modine again. I thought Charlotte Vega was a strong actress. It was good to see Bill Sage again. He's normally just a creepy, fucked up actor. I like it when he pops up in roles. I like the morality tale. I like the don't judge a book by its cover underlying theme. I don't mind the political aspects of this movie because it's not just shoved in your face. I dug this movie, man. I can't help. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm not a fan of the Wrong Turn movies. But Wrong Turn has a pretty solid fan base. There are a lot of people that really like that series.
I can't wait to see what the whole overall, from the 90s to 21, how the real franchise devotees feel about this film. That's what I'm curious.
They hated it. I mean, but that was their big complaint was, it's nothing like the Wrong Turn franchise. We want the Wrong Turn franchise. That's all their complaint was. This movie sucks. Well, kind of like back in the 80s, whenever Friday the 13th Part 5 came out. Well, there's no Jason in this. This movie sucks. But now it's kind
of... Well, even a more recent example, you have Child's Play, the reboot of that. Mm-hmm. It was pretty much Child's Play and title only. And that was a good movie. I'm not even saying this was a bad movie. I'm not that huge of a fan of Wrong Turn. What was the horror? Like, there's no jump scares. It just left a lot to be desired. Not saying it's a bad movie.
It's a thriller, man. It's not a fucking horror movie.
I wouldn't even call it a thriller. It's a fucking social commentary piece.
There were some jump scares in there. You had the snake. You had the tree actually hitting. All the traps. Those are all kind of
more comical than scary. Like when that fucking chick's running, she goes, I'm sorry, maybe I have a weird sick sense of humor. I was laughing my ass off watching these people get hurt running away.
I'm going to give it a 7.5. I really am. I like this one. I'm kind of pissed off that I only rented it because I had the option to buy it for only like $4 more. And I'm pissed that I didn't. It's like, but I talked myself out of it because I was like, man, everyone says this movie sucks. I'm not going to like it, blah, blah, blah. I don't like the Wrong Turn franchise anyway. I'm just going to pay $6 to rent it rather than $10 to buy it. And now I'm kicking myself. I should have fucking bought it because I'm going to pay to buy it again somewhere down the road anyway. Wrong Turn. Let us know what you think of the film in the comments below. Which one of us do you agree with? Do you agree that it's more social commentary? Does it deserve a 6 like the Colonel thinks, or lower like Ziggy thinks? Or does it deserve higher like I think? Let us know in the comments. And that's going to wrap it up for Let's Go Camping. We'll be back shortly. Woo!
That's all we got for that segment of Let's Go Camping. Stay tuned. We got more coming your way just a little bit later this week.
I'm Dick Weond, and I encourage you to watch Death Curse Society. Please do. Just tune in on YouTube. You'll love it.
The Death Curse Society has just become an associate producer on the film.
Yes.
Bravo. Bravo. Death Curse Society, guys, is so awesome. I met the guys, all 3 of the guys, at Indianapolis last year for Horror Hound. And I met those dudes, and I gotta tell you, like, I hung out with them. We took pictures. I signed some stuff. They gave me a T-shirt. It was awesome. They are awesome guys. So super cool. I am so glad to have them on board this campaign and also on board the film. And now they are going to be IMDb credited as producers on this movie.
That's not my original thoughts. I had a sesame seed. Had a sesame seed from the hamburger I just ate. Gonna get spoiled. So if you don't want to know, just end right now. We'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah.
But
well, at least stick around. At least fast forward to our reviews first.
Right. You know, you'll see. We'll give a little
scores
or something when you can fast forward. You know, rejoin us at.
I'll take care of all this.
Yes, I know.
What up? It's the Colonel Death Curse Society. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I punched the numbers in my computer. The computer don't lie. If you don't subscribe and watch more videos, you may be a dead fuck. So be sure to click over here for more videos from Death Curse Society.